This is the most comfortable interview I've done ever. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, Tibet is sort of on my mind.
Really?
Because I mean...
Tenzin Choesang,
a student leader, president of RTYC Minnesota, who holds a master's degree in public policy. He is also a Tibetan music and dance teacher with over 110 students.
Oh shoot.
It's like Katsum Kikaksa. I was like, I'm just here vibing, just telling my point of view, and you're telling me to... It's tiring, it takes a lot of time, but it is very rewarding. No matter what I do in my future job, I feel like it should be something related to Tibet. During that, I would spend all of my energy on that and not much on my own. Like, sometimes I forget to eat, especially if it's like a Jiego at SIKYONG. I forget to eat. I go the whole day without eating. Then someone asks me, did you eat? I'm like, oh no, I forgot to eat, because I have like, back then, or like a year ago, I would have like 100 kids to oversee, and I'm just like running around putting on chuas. So I would, it's like that mindset of my SIKYONG campaign.
Yeah.
No notes, no nothing? That's crazy. I respect that though.
Thank you. Welcome to Bodja Podcast. I've listened to enough of your talks and your interviews, so I don't need any notes.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Thank you for your patience. This is a hectic setup. Yeah. How's the conference today?
Has it started?
Yeah.
Is this
it
the beginning of it?
Recording.
Why? I thought you were gonna be like, hi. This is Choesang. We're going straight into it.
We're going straight into it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay with
People,
that.
People know who you are.
I like it.
This is not. This is more of a conversation than
I like
an interview.
that. I like that. Very informal.
Yeah.
That's why we're staring at each other. Don't. I'm gonna look at your forehead. I'm not gonna look at your
Why
eyes.
aren't you gonna look at my eyes?
I don't know why.
No?
I
You
can't.
get uncomfortable?
Yes, I am.
When do you want me to give like a 30-minute, whatever mark is?
Yeah, just give me like 30 minute, then like 40, 50 minute. Yeah, probably do an hour at most.
Okay.
You have that time? Hour? All right, we're gonna keep all this in the podcast.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah. How's the conference today?
Conference today.
Or just
Today
in
was
general?
just a reflection, yeah. In general, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Very long days.
Yes.
From
And
the morning.
nights.
And nights. No nights. We went to sleep at 11. But
Why are you lying to our audience?
what are you talking about? I have an image to upkeep here. Actually, I don't want any of that in there. Actually, you can keep it. I don't care. But it was good. A lot of familiar faces, but also a lot of new faces. I think it's important to always have new people.
Yeah.
Like last year, International Tibetan Youth Forum in Dharamsala, I sort of do want to get invited for the free trip and meeting, but at the same time, I sort of don't want to be invited because I want sort of new people to keep going. I think that's our plan too.
Yeah.
But like for this, I think because you need to keep growing your, what's it called? Not audience, but like the
Or base.
Yeah, your base. And then if you just keep having the same people over and over, I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's, especially in Minnesota too, there's a lot of young Tibetans going to college and stuff. I mean, wait, this was you applied for this, right? You applied for this?
I mean, you sent an application.
You sent an application. Oh, okay.
Well, you didn't have to?
No, I did. But I think maybe they didn't see it or something, but I think there's a lot more Tibetans in Minnesota, especially youth, that could have attended, but maybe they didn't see it.
That's your people.
I shared it on my Instagram and Facebook as much as I could, and I told...
Did you tell like individual, like text like hit people up individually or no? No,
I didn't do that. No, I did. I told my friends.
Oh.
I'm sort of throwing them under the bus, but I did tell them. But there's also the basketball tournament going on right now, and they're all in that. So, but you know, freeing Tibet or playing basketball.
Playing basketball is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Do you play?
I wouldn't know.
No, you don't play?
No.
What sports did you play?
I don't play any sports.
Growing up in high school, you didn't play any sports?
I played tennis.
Damn, you're a nerd, huh?
I played tennis. No, Actually, when I was in 5th grade or 6th grade, I took a basketball camp.
Basketball camp.
Basketball camp. And I remember vividly, I scored for the opposite team of my own, because I scored at the opposite, what's it called? The
Goal.
net.
Or net, yeah.
Yeah, I
Basket.
scored the opposite net.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm fit to play
Wait,
basketball.
opposite meaning you scored for your own team.
No.
Huh?
Because
You
know
scored
how-
on your own basket.
Yeah.
How did you score on your own basket? How does that
I
happen?
was confused. I was like, what am I doing? Okay. And then they got a point or something. I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me.
Were you good at tennis in high school?
In high school, maybe. I don't really remember. I did, most of my games were doubles.
Yeah.
So maybe my partner was just good.
Okay.
But I remember we won a few games. So we were probably okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably average maybe.
Okay.
Not anymore though. I lost all that.
Yeah. How does this workshop, this 3-day workshop, 3.5-day workshop in Minnesota compare to the 4 or 5 days conference meeting in Dharamsala, where we had 100 kids from all over the globe?
I think this was a little more compact. You could meet a little more, you had more opportunities to engage with more people because there's less.
Yeah.
Because 100 people,
Yeah.
4 days, you can't talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Here, you can either during the forum or after forum, conference,
Yeah.
you can talk with them, get to know them, see what they're doing, what they want to do, what they're studying, and all that. I think that's one difference, sort of. Other than that, I think the format, sort of the same. Length, sort of the same, time-wise, from morning till night. And then
I
open
don't know,
mic.
this felt longer though.
This felt longer.
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe it's because we have to wake up really early in the morning,
Yeah.
drive 45 minutes,
True.
and then, that might be why.
Yeah.
Same thing also, open mic.
Yeah.
There was an open mic over there, right?
One
Yes, there
night,
was.
one
There
night,
was.
when it was- yeah, one night.
I played the drum. I remember. Yeah. Same thing here. We had open mic.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the same, but I guess it's just like a mini. What's the acronym? ITYF. Yeah.
What about like the participants? Is there like, can you like generalize like the participants from the 2 different workshops? Or like the vibe that you got?
The vibes I got. I mean, for both the Dharamsala one and for this one, I am super impressed by the participants. There are people who came from Harvard, Stanford, Yale,
Yeah.
my dream schools. And I didn't even apply.
Did you apply?
I
No?
didn't apply. I was like,
You
I'm not
can't
gonna
say
get
it's
in.
your dream
I'm
school.
not gonna get in.
What? Why?
You have to pay money to apply.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna get in. So why even?
Were your grades like okay in high school?
They're
Good?
in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I meant for graduate school.
Oh, okay, got it.
But, anyways, yeah, and then there's just a wide variety of, what's the thing? What's it called?
Majors?
Yeah, majors and like what they want to do or what they're doing currently. Just like a variety of different skills and characteristics. Sort of made me feel bland being like a generic political science Tibetan when there are people who are doing like data science and computer science and I don't even remember the other ones. But there were so many.
Yeah.
I was just really impressed by all of them.
That's good. At least you're like on the top of your game in this bland category, you know?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you apply to Harvard or like Stanford for grad school? Because MPP, I think Harvard has an MPP for their Kennedy
I think
School,
so
right?
too, yeah. I don't know. One is the money. I think it's really expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Minnesota already has a public affairs school. And I was like, I'm probably going to save a lot of money on dorming. I
Yeah.
feel like the content is sort of the same.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it's just the name recognition
Yeah.
of Harvard and Yale or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I might as well just stay at home, save like 20 grand a year or something and just
Yeah.
go to school in Minnesota.
But the exit ops are there for like the schools, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you'd be perfect for like the Columbia's like SIPA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that one of your dreams?
Did I sign up for that? I remember. No, I was looking into it though. I don't think I signed up for it or applied for it. Yeah. I mean, Humphrey, where I go, Humphrey School of Public Affairs, a lot of the staff and professors, they're awesome. I feel like that's a weird word. They're really talented and they have a lot of experience working in the State Department, NGOs, human rights NGOs, refugees, dealing with refugees and humanitarian crises and all that. So I feel like I'm not losing anything from not going to any of those bigger schools. Yeah.
For me, I feel like the India one was a little bit more like professional and like uptight. I don't know. This one was a little more like laid back.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to connect too much at the India one. Yeah. So I'm glad that we were able to connect more here. Yeah.
When was the first time I met you?
It was I think it was at Lobby Day. I was like, maybe like 2 years ago or a year ago. It wasn't. I don't think we met like way back. I think it was pretty recent, right? But then I was like, oh, you make videos, right? Then you denied it. You're like, no, I don't. What do you mean? Yeah. Then you're like gaslighting me, man. I was like, I've seen you somewhere. Tell me where. Yeah. And you didn't tell me. Gunki was there. Yeah. I've seen Gunki around too, like on like social media. And stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I think it was Tibet Lobby Day, 2019 or 20. Did they have one in 2020? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably 2019 then.
Then we hung out a little bit at your TYLP this past summer. Yeah. In India, we saw each other, but didn't connect too much. Yeah. But here we did. Yeah.
You drove my car.
I drove your car. Yeah.
You took us random places. No reasons.
I took people sightseeing, man.
Yeah.
You're a good host, but you
took us to the wrong hotel. I don't know where we ended up. I couldn't see because I was sleeping, I think.
Yeah, you were a little tired. Yeah.
I was very tired. Too much learning.
Yeah.
I had a lot on my mind of trying to absorb everything, so I was just really tired.
No.
Definitely not anything else.
Yeah. You, I mentioned this to you earlier. You didn't speak up too much, right? And I think that was I think from what I remember, that was similar in Dharamsala as well.
Yeah.
Well, but I asked like the TYLP participants, and they were like, yeah, he talks a lot. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So what's up? Like sometimes you have like a lot to say, sometimes you don't. Like, or like, you told me like you more like to absorb more.
Wait, what did the TYLP people say? I talk a lot. I mean,
like when you do talk, it's like hella articulate, and they're like, whoa, like Taga, right? He was like, man, after like Choesang, I'm like, after like spending a week with Choesang, he's like, man, I gotta get on grind, you know. And everybody feels like that after talking to you.
During conferences, I usually just like to listen. I don't really like to talk that much, because I feel like, I don't know, I just like to listen more, see what different people are saying, because they all come from different points of view and they can look at one thing like 100 different ways, and I just want to get all that information, absorb it, and just reflect on it, because I feel like I can just say my own thing, but I also want to hear what everyone else is saying. So I value everyone else's sort of points of view a little more than mine, because I feel like there's a lot more I can learn than I can probably say, because I don't think I know that much, but I feel like everyone else can at least increase my knowledge.
So so if that's the case, or that's your mentality going to conferences, right, and you probably take that like...
I still talk sometimes. I don't want it to make it... I don't want it to seem like I'm just like, I don't know, like some mute, like I talk when it's like the
discussion groups,
discussion groups.
But I'm saying like in front of the entire audience. Yeah. But then like, what makes you want to talk like in post, right, and like make it very public?
In post,
right, versus like just absorbing like because you made like a few videos, right, and like they've gone viral, right, and so, some of it, like a lot of it's like good feedback, but there's some of it's like not good feedback either, right?
Yeah.
Well, like what makes you want to do that?
I mean, I guess it depends on what the topic is.
Like what was the most viral like post you made?
The most viral post, I think it was the 2020 Black Lives Matter video I made.
Okay. How many views did that get?
I don't have.
You had a guess.
60,000.
Okay, shit.
On Facebook, unless I'm wrong. I don't want to fact check it, but I think it was around 6. It's funny. I think most of them were from India.
Oh, the
Because I
viewers?
made it, I filmed it in like the middle of the day, and then it took me actually like an hour or two to film it because I kept saying something I didn't really feel like I meant. So then I reshot it over and over.
And 되게 online 봐.
Yeah, that's also why, because I felt like I think I said a word wrong or something, and then I had to re-record it. But then I recorded it, I posted it. I don't know what I typed for the caption. But then I posted it, and then I went to sleep. And then I woke up, and my phone was like, not blowing up. I just turned on my phone, and there was a bunch of Facebook notifications from people, and I was like, what the heck is this? And then I opened it, and it's a bunch of positive comments saying, yeah, this is great. Keep up the work. Yeah. But then there was a lot of negative comments, too. Negative, maybe a little more, what's the word? Hateful comments?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I should say so. One of them said, what was it? No, one of them said, kikyaksa.
Oh, shoot.
It was like, katsum kikyaksa. I was like, I'm just here vibing, just telling my point of view, and you're telling me to. But yeah, I think
You have this duality to you. Like, you're very laid back, but also you're like super passionate, right?
yeah.
So when the passion comes, right, when you hear these negative comments, like, how did it make you feel?
Oh, I don't care.
You don't care? You're good with that? Like, you're
If
usually good with negative comments?
if it's constructive,
Yeah.
and they're saying, oh, Choesang, you shouldn't say this word. You mean this word, or you know, if I have to type, because on our Shinu page we have Tibetan and English captions. So if I get feedback saying, oh, you spelled this word wrong or something, or you used the word wrong or whatever, then I'm like, okay, that's constructive. I can use that. I fix it, and I thank them. I'm like, thank you. I needed to know that, so I don't make the same mistake. But if it's just, oh, you suck, oh, blah, 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 I'm like, I'm not going to let a few negative comments affect the fact that I have a lot more people that seem to support me.
That's good.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get on. I think we have a tendency, even if there's like 100 people that like us, but there's one person that doesn't, then we want that one person to like us.
Yeah.
I think that's unhealthy, toxic.
I think that's like human biology. We have like a negativity bias.
Yeah.
You know, we're just like focusing on the negative more.
Yeah, I don't really care. If it's like constructive, I'll listen. If it's not, and it's just spewing some whatever, I'm just like, forget it.
Do you think it helped your SIKYONG campaign?
My SIKYONG campaign,
Yeah.
it'll help?
Do you think it helped?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that is if I run.
Yeah. So tell me about this. Like, people like Mingdo de la SIKYONG ra. Titende re doa. Someone like it doa.
Mingdo, that means nickname, right?
Nickname, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
I actually don't know. People just randomly started calling me that. Well, not randomly. I mean, I told a few of my friends and people, I was like, oh, maybe I was like, maybe.
Give me a timeline, like what time?
Like 2015, 16.
So you were
like,
what, college?
No, not 2015, 16. Maybe like 17, 18, 2018, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, one of those years. I was like, oh, maybe I want to be, because I was like, okay, no matter what I do in my future job, I feel like it should be something related to Tibet. So I was like, maybe I'll like run for SIKYONG or something. I was just like, oh, man, that sounds like a cool thing, not knowing what goes into it. I'm just like, okay, SIKYONG, why not? And then I tell some of my friends, and then they tell their parents, oh, Choesang wants to be SIKYONG. And then like their parents start calling me that, and then it just keeps going around. And now people just call me SIKYONG. I feel like some people don't even know my real name. They just call me SIKYONG. They're like, oh, that's SIKYONG. I'm like, do you know me? I don't know you. How do you know that? Yeah, that's funny. I'm like, you don't even know my name, but they know the nickname. I mean, I guess it's endearing in a way. So it's just like,
why do you have that aspiration to want to do something for Tibet? Because you said the similar thing in like on Bujungkata's like talk show, right? Like at the end of the day, Karina, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I want to do something for
I think I mentioned in there, in his thing where we walked around a mountain. He asked that same question, and I said, well, at the end of the day, I'm somehow, through whatever, I was born a Tibetan in a time where our country is facing this, tremendous amount of oppression.
Yeah.
I feel like it's on us as Tibetans, whether it be young or old, to do something productive, effective for it. And I was like, it's our responsibility. So if we don't do it, we can't just wait on, white Inji people to do it for us.
Yeah, I mean, but why is it that you had that realization, right, and many other Tibetans maybe haven't, young Tibetans haven't?
I don't know.
What is it? Childhood trauma?
Childhood trauma. I had a wonderful childhood. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just. I mean, I grew up here. I was born
You're
here.
humble, but you're a bit different, all right? You're a bit different.
I feel like yes, maybe I'm a little bit different in my thinking and how I approach my life view of being a Tibetan. But I don't think I'm all that different. I think it's just how I look at it. Because from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, Tibet is
Really?
sort of on my mind.
Really?
Because the reason I'm going into political science is because I want to study international relations. And why is that? Because I want to study what's happening in Tibet. I want to also learn about human rights. Why? Because of the human rights situation inside Tibet. So that's why I go to public affairs school. And then on Saturday, 9 to 1, I teach Pöglopta. Why? Because I think Tibetan language, well, I teach music, but still, you use Pöge to teach it. Because Tibetan music, culture, religion, history is all so important to protect or preserve. So that's why I do that. And then Saturday 1 to 5, and then Sunday 9 to 12, I teach Shabdo. And also the same reason, because I think Tibetan dance and music is so, what's the right word? It's so beautiful. I think that's.
You find beauty in it.
Yes, regardless of what region it is, I think all the regions of Tibet have so much beauty in their music, whether it be because the music also tells a story, or the lyrics, if you look at the lyrics, it tells a story about the environment, the people, the history, and I think that's also a way to preserve that culture, that history.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, a lot of the things is about your viewpoint, right? How you look at things, but even like seeing things, realizing, right? I'm trying to create that, or figure out how to create that Choesang glasses that you put on, right? So, is it cool if I ask you? You said your childhood was cool, good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me how growing up in Minnesota, what was that like?
I went to Pöglopta here.
Pöglopta here is long, right?
9 to 1.
9 to 1. That's
Long?
That's 4 hours. Ours is like 2 hours.
I think it's too short.
You think 4 hours is too short?
I think 4 hours is too
Really?
short.
How long do you think it
I would say 9 to at least. I think it used to be longer when I was in it, but I would say at least 9 to 3 or something.
Why do you think it's too short?
Because one, we have break, parsing, for the kids to eat, and the Galans to also eat.
Do you guys serve lunch there at the Bizinda? Or
No. Just recently, I think starting last year, they started selling momo to the kids. But yeah, they just, so then if you account for that 30 minutes, then you only stuck with 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then you have religion. I don't know about religion anymore, but you have language, history, music, and then you also have Kayore. Nangju, I think this
learning.
is Kayore. But I think that's about it. And then you have 4 different things to teach in 3.5 hours, not even an hour per topic. So that's why I'm like, low-key, I think we need to make it a little longer. But then, I don't know about the kids' attention span. I mean, the little kids, yeah, but I think the older kids, they can probably,
Yeah.
I mean, they already spend 8 to 3.
Yeah.
But then the kids might complain, oh, I don't get any break. I have to go to school Monday, Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday.
But overall, the kids have a pretty good attitude here about going to Puzenda and like Bodja, or no?
I think it's universal that kids in Pöyulopta seem to just hate it when they started. This was even during my time. It's not that far long ago.
You're pretty old now.
Well, I'm 2 years older than you, I think. I'm 24.
Yeah.
You're 22.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think kids, they just don't want to spend their weekends learning Tibetan. I mean, what's the other option? Doing it Friday or something? But I think when they're young, they have that point of view, like, oh, this is a waste. I want to just watch cartoons in the morning or something. Or go play with my Inji friends who don't have to do school or anything. But I think eventually they start, I mean, this is what happened to me. I didn't really want to go to Pöyulopta either, but eventually you start, I don't know, I mean, I sort of started realizing why it was important. I mean, because it was during, I think, 2011, I was 11 or 12, one of those two, started when self-immolations were starting inside Tibet. And then that really, they had presentations inside our Pöyulopta, and they had like documentaries, and I was like, this is something to care about. And I was like, well, I need to pay more attention to it. I think a few of the other students also started thinking like that too. So I think, yeah, it's universal that when they started and when they're little, they're like, this is a waste. But eventually they slowly start to realize its importance.
Okay, going back, you went to Puzenda, and that was a big impact on your Tibetan identity,
Yes.
100%?
Definitely.
Yeah. What else did you... Why was it a good childhood?
I'm sorry I didn't have a bad childhood. I had a wonderful childhood.
That's good.
I mean, at home we speak Tibetan. We also have like Tunkar, Losar, Nobel Shide Singda, Sergi Singda. Here we have Midwest. And then there are weddings, graduations, birthday parties, and then just like family gatherings. So there's like a it depends on the season, but there's like during the summer, there's almost always every weekend a Tibetan event. So then that keeps you sort of in touch with your community. I mean, that is if you go to it. A lot of people don't. I don't know why, but if you do go, it's like a constant reminder of, you know, this is your community, these are the people, this is what it's like to be a Tibetan in Minnesota. Did that address your question? I don't know how was my childhood?
I think, no, the reason why I asked is because a lot of, like, let's say heroes or people, right, they have like a tough childhood, right, and it's because of that trauma that they're driven, if that makes sense, right? That's why I asked, right? Like, I'm trying to figure out like what drives you, but obviously that's about Tibet. You care a lot, right? But then going deeper, like, why did you pay attention, and why don't other kids pay attention? How can we get kids to pay attention more?
I think they just need to develop the understanding of why it's important to care about it. Like they have to shift their mindset. Because I actually get sort of, what's the right word? Flack? I don't know if, like, some people tell me, you do too much for other people. You don't really care about yourself. You don't spend a lot of time for yourself.
Like how?
Like, what I mean by that is, like, if it's RTYC work, if it's Pöyulopta, if it's Shabto, if it's, when I used to be president of our University of Minnesota's Tibetan American Student Association, if it was during that, I would spend all of my energy on that and not much on my own, like, sometimes I forget to eat, especially if it's like a Jego at Archigan. I forget to eat. I go the whole day without eating. Then someone asks me, did you eat? I'm like, oh no, I forgot to eat, because I'm like, back then, or like a year ago, I would have like 100 kids to oversee, and I'm just like running around putting on chuas. So I would, it's like that mindset of, I'm sort of just trying to make sure that, you know, I'm serving others.
Do you feel tired from that, or did you feel tired?
Oh yeah. Even yesterday, I was. I don't know if you noticed. I was exhausted,
Yeah, yeah.
not just because of the conference, but the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's rewarding. It's so rewarding
How so?
when they perform.
Yeah.
I mean,
You feel like a pala, or?
I feel so. I mean, regardless of if they make tiny mistakes, I tell them afterwards if they make mistakes. I'm like, why did you make that mistake? Because I have to make sure that they're performing good for people. But at the same time, I'm so proud that they're at least doing it.
Yeah.
They're like practicing it. They're coming to Shapto. They're dancing. So it's tiring. It takes a lot of time, but it is very rewarding. Not just for me, but for the people. They get entertainment. And then their parents also, they have a feeling of, okay, my kid is learning something about their culture. Yeah.
Parents love you here.
Yeah, they do.
Do you kids
I
like you here?
appreciate it. The kids, now that depends on if they like the way I teach. But I think a lot of them like me. At least I like to think so.
Okay, so you had a pretty good childhood. How much did your parents play an influence at home? Like the 파주 벽에 겨울아, but then 부의장주에다 because you're a master of Pui too, you know.
No, I'm not. Oh, I suck at Kui. I just recently started learning.
Learning by yourself? Oh yeah, okay, that's
No, they have the books.
Oh, okay.
When I went to Dharamsala last year, I bought some Kui handwriting books.
I see.
So I'm slowly starting to learn that. But yeah, at home.
Do you have siblings, by the way?
I have an older brother.
Okay.
But at home, yeah, we would go to Puyallup together. And my cousins. But yeah, we would all go to Puyallup together. But at home, my parents, I think mainly my pala, he would help me and my brother with the homework. I think every Papa kid has had that moment when they're practicing or studying for a test with their parent, and the pala or whoever is just like, why don't you understand this? What do you not understand? And I remember, no, what was it? It was, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just started crying. I was like, this is so hard. I cannot handle this. I think my pala asked me something about grammar, Tibetan grammar, and I was like, I don't know. And I just started crying. But yeah, I mean, we take speaking and learning Tibetan, or when I was a student there, we took it seriously. And we tried to make sure that we didn't miss any of the class days. Because it's once a week.
Yeah.
And if you miss that, then, you have to go another week without it.
Yeah.
And then if you miss that for something else, then it's 3 weeks without Tibetan language. So yeah, we took it seriously.
How much self-studying or self-research did you do to create this Tibetan idea? I'm not just talking about learning Pyoge, right? But then researching Tibetan's history, or maybe looking at people you want to emulate, right?
There's a lot of research that goes, or just self-research.
Reflection.
Not just reflection, but also looking at books.
Yeah.
My room, I need to buy a new bookshelf because I'm running out of space, and I don't have enough time to read all the books, so I feel guilty. But there's so many books that I want to read, I don't have the time for it. But it's about Tibetan history, Sino-Tibet dialogue, negotiations, Tibet Brief 2020? No, I started it. I started highlighting and stuff, but then school started and I couldn't finish it.
It's a tough book to read.
It is a tough book to read, but it has a lot of good topics in it, especially about how we view. And you can read it, But then there's also autobiographies, Gundun's obviously, Gerimboche's. I don't know if it was an autobiography, but Pandey Gyaltso's, his book blew me away. And then there's another book, I think it's an autobiography, Ama Ade's book.
I don't know.
There's just so many books, too many books.
You read through all of them?
I read through those, yeah.
Wow.
Because I think the biographies are so much more what's the word? It sticks with me more because it's an actual story.
Yeah.
Rather than historical, what's going on and whatever.
Yeah. So, what about leadership? Right, you're like the president of RTYC for the past 4-5 years, right?
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, and you've done other stuff like your Minnesota Tibetan Student Association, whatever it's called. Who have you tried to emulate there? Who's your leader, hero, or whatever?
I don't want to be sort of basic, not basic, but like obviously Kundu. I think it's important to show compassion in your leadership, and I think Kundu has done that tremendously well. Other than Kundu, maybe, I don't know, I don't think I try to emulate anyone.
Yeah, yeah, like
I'm just sort of doing my own thing.
yeah. Have you like been like, I don't know, self-aware or trying to like develop like leadership skills? Like when you first got elected to like Shunu, right? How'd you approach it?
Number one, I was surprised because I didn't expect it.
You had to run though, right?
No.
They just
They-
like, pick you?
The former board members nominate people, or they choose people, they write it on a board. All the board, general members of RTYC come to a meeting, they look at the board, they say, okay, well, I want that one. And then they write the name, and then tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Somehow my name ended up on the board. I had no idea. I remember I was at home, I was on my phone, I was scrolling through Facebook, and I saw RTYC. I didn't even know what RTYC was, but I just saw it on my page. And I was like, oh, election results. And then it was Tenzin Choesang. I was like, who the heck is this? There's another Tenzin, I don't know if it's Tenzin Choesang, but there's another Choesang here. I was like, is it her, or is it them, or whoever? And then I was like, well, whoever it is, they have the same name as me, good luck.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I got a call from the president, or the ex-president now. He's like, hey, your name was on the thing, and you got the most. I was like, what? What is this? What org?
Yeah.
But, yeah. What was your question?
How'd you approach it? Like,
Oh, how did I approach it? In 2018, 2018, October 19 or 20, one of those two, I was elected. I was 18.
yeah.
I think I was the youngest chapter president at that time,
Yeah.
ever in TYC history, which is cool, but it's also daunting because it's an 18-year-old. I don't know that much. I've learned a lot in the 4 years, but I started out not even knowing a lot about what Shunu does, what kind of projects. And so first it was researching, looking at what the past terms have done, and then just getting an understanding of what you need to do, also understanding the history. But approaching it, or my approach to Shunu leadership, is just, you need to know how to delegate tasks. If you're president, you need to know how to delegate tasks. You can't do everything your own, or by yourself. I have a bad habit of doing that.
So do I.
I have a bad habit of doing that,
Yeah.
especially even in TASA, when I was president of that, I had a bad habit of being like, oh, don't worry, I'll bring it. Oh, I'll just order it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'll bring it. No, you need to know how to delegate. Because, I mean, you have board members for a reason. And they're supposed, if they don't, or if you don't tell them to do something, then they're just going to sit around and just be like, okay. So you need to know how to delegate tasks. And I needed to learn that because I didn't. I still struggle with it because I'm like, I have a very specific vision or like a way of looking at it. I'm like, I need this to be exactly the way I want.
Yeah.
And unless I do it, it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to tackle that. So I'm like, okay, you need to do this, this, and this, this, this. And then also, like I said, I was 18. I didn't know a lot. So I need to do a lot of listening from previous board members. Just listen what they have to say, and also examine what is the current climate environment that we're organizing in. Because if I don't have an understanding of that, then I can't just randomly say whatever I want and then not expect any backlash. So I have to read the room, understand the climate, the political climate and all that. especially with Shunu being a very political organization, I can't just say whatever. So I need to understand, okay, what can I say? What can't I say? What should I probably not say? What should I say? So it was like understanding that too. Yeah.
How old was, if you had to guess, the previous Shunu president? 40s? No younger?
Shunu RTYC Minnesota?
Yeah.
Well, the one before me, I hope he doesn't see this because I might get the age wrong and I don't want him to be offended. I think he has a kid now.
Yeah.
So maybe 30, 35?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, you had to grow up quickly.
Oh, yeah.
What's that like, missing out on, like, I mean, obviously you still have, like, you know, fun here and there, but, like, growing up quickly, missing out on, like, it's not childhood, but, like, teenage years, right? College life. You missed out on a lot of college life.
Yeah.
You're busy. School, obviously, takes a lot of time. Then all those RTYC, Dohagela.
Oh, I only started that, like, last
okay.
year.
But then, like,
2 years ago.
Your Minnesota's college club, tennis club president. What was that like?
I don't think I missed out on much.
No? You don't have FOMO?
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't think I mean, I still hung out with my friends.
Yeah.
We still went on trips.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't want to be photographed
Oh.
too much.
Okay. Then why start Momo Talk?
We're not talking about Momo Talk. We're not talking about Momo Talk. Momo Talk was just a social prank. It was an experiment. And we were really bored.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't even know what that is.
A lot
They
of
might
people
think we're
don't.
going crazy.
Yeah.
We're talking about Momo, it's like talking or something. But yeah, I don't think I missed out on much.
That's good.
I think it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do multiple things at once.
100%.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
And.
Tell me a time when you went through the most, when you felt suffering the most.
Suffering?
Yeah. The toughest time for you in your life so far.
I haven't suffered that much. I don't know about suffered. I think that's such a strong word.
It is, yeah.
I've been pretty privileged.
Yeah.
I can't think of like a moment of suffering. Like where I was like, yeah, I can't really think of one.
Okay. How about the opposite?
Oh, there's a lot of those. Just recently, when was it? In August, no, July. Midwest was here.
Yeah.
Super fun. My students performed. It was a lot of planning though. But at the end, everything worked out. And then just seeing, communities or people from 3 communities, 3 states really, coming together here, celebrating Kundu's birthday, having parties and dances and concerts. And you were there? No?
No.
Were
I've
either
never
of you
been-
here?
I've never been to
Tashi, were
Midwest.
you here? You didn't come here? No? Oh. You've never been to a Midwest?
No.
Oh my God, you need to come here. Well, not here. This year it's in Chicago.
Don't go to Chicago one?
No. You need to go to the Chicago. There's much more to do there. But yeah,
Are you
Midwest.
gonna go?
My students are performing. I need to
you have
go.
to go.
I have to go. But yeah, that was really fun.
Okay.
And then I had like some relatives from Colorado come. And then, yeah, it was just then hanging out with my friends. It was a long 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that was really fun. That's the most recent. And then going to India, I saw my Popo Momo again. Oh my gosh. Then I think I spent around a month there. Last time I went, yeah.
Oh, really?
Or how long was it? It was after Tungar, July 9 to end of July, something like that. So maybe 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. Last time I went was 2022 for a Shunu conference, and I only spent 2 weeks there. So this time when I went, I got to spend so much more time exploring, gaining weight. Even though I thought I'd lose weight, after all the walking I did, I thought I'd lose weight. Somehow I gained 10 pounds. Who
10
does
pounds?
that? Who
In a
does
month?
that? Yes, who does that? Going to India?
Man, you had too much laughing or something.
It was the food. No, it was the conference. You know why? You're sitting there all day. You're eating 3 times a day, huge portions, no gym, no pool or anything. You do that. There was no pool. You do that 4 days in a row. You do that 4 days in a row. You didn't gain any weight?
I think I lost weight.
Oh my God.
Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was only there for a week though, so.
India for a week?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was doing an internship, so I had to come back. I was so scared to ask for permission for a week off. Yeah. I was so tired. People stayed up all night.
Yeah.
That's at all of these.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I think there's a merit in that too, because you get to connect with people on like a personal level.
Yeah.
You get to have fun.
Yeah.
During the conference, I mean, you don't really get to, hey, what are you studying? Who are you? Or I think the small talk around, what are you majoring in? What do you want to be? I think that's sort of bland and boring.
Yeah.
Like trying to connect like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Sharing experiences
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, I think that's much. So, and I think there's a merit in like doing something after a conference, because it like gets you to connect on a personal level too. But yeah, going back, you should come to Midwest.
Yeah, but you're gonna be busy, man.
And I'll just be busy for one day. Since it's not in Minnesota, I don't have that much work. I just have to do the one day for the kids, and then bam, I'm done.
We'll see. We'll talk. Any advice for me as like somebody who takes a little responsibility in VTAG?
A what?
As somebody who takes a little responsibility in VTAG, right? That's basically like new thing.
A low responsibility?
A little bit of responsibility,
Okay.
right? It's brand new, right? VTAG's brand new in the U.S., right? We hadn't had any like specific VTAG meetings or conferences.
We've had meetings.
Huh?
On Zoom.
Oh, I mean like
in person?
Yeah.
Like
Like a conference, you know? Like how Australia and European countries have like a VTAG strategy meeting, right? 3 days just about VTAG, brainstorming, breaking into groups. So for me, new in this leadership position, any advice for me? What can I do better? Some like, obviously I'm taking this very slowly, right? But
Yeah. I think first people need to know what VTAG is.
yeah.
The name itself is Voluntary Tibet Advocacy Group, right?
Yeah.
And then in Tibetan is Pöden Rawa, no, Pöden Rawa, Pöden Tangla Shudu Legu, something like that, right? Something like that. What do you mean? You're the North America coordinator.
Don't ask me
You're
about
the
that.
one person to ask. It was one of those two. I think VTAG, people are going to be like, what's VTAG?
Yeah.
VTAG? What? So I think you need to like, first you need to tell them what it is.
Yeah.
And then you need to convince them that it's like a actual thing that they should care about and participate in. Especially in North America, so many organizations, so many of them already doing advocacy work.
Yeah.
I think you need to convince them why VTAG should have a stake to that claim of
Be honest.
lobbying.
Do you see the vision?
Of course I see the vision. I am a VTAG member of Minnesota. I think having that direct connection with CTA
Yeah.
and then getting information from them, like up-to-date information, I think that is one of the best resources for VTAG. Because right now, a lot of the information I get, no shade to any of the orgs, but I get most of my information from like RFA, VOA, Tibet Times,
Bodja podcast.
Bodja podcasts, of course. I get most of my information from that. And then that's like how I form, like, okay, this just came out of Tibet. We need to do something. Or the article came from this thing about what's happening in Tibet. We need to do something. I think having that direct connection, like CTA is like, okay, this just happened. Here's the information. Here's the statistics. Here's the data. We need to do something, organize a lobby or whatever. I think that is really, because, I mean, that's our, our government. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. It's our government, de facto government. So I think that is the main, in my opinion, that is the main like thing you can say. Like we get direct information, and I mean I trust their sources, so
Yeah.
It's like you can just.
Yeah.
I think that's something. So you need to convince them why they should care about VTAG.
Okay.
Because, we already do lobbying.
Yeah.
Okay. Minnesota already does lobbying and advocacy. Why should we have VTAG here?
I don't know. In Minnesota, I don't know, right? For other, like for Capital Area Tibetan Association back in DC, Virginia, there's a big reason. Because nobody does advocacy work at that local level, right? People sometimes go to our participation rate in even like lobby day, 30 minutes down the road, right? It's not that high comparing to like, how many participants come to lobby day,
Yeah,
So
I can see
in
why.
Minnesota, I don't know, right? But in Virginia, are these mid-sized communities? 100%, I see the value.
Yeah,
To push a little bit, for accountability. Yeah.
Where are states that have small amounts of Tibetans? Virginia?
Virginia.
Or Kata? What's it called?
Kata?
Kata?
Yeah.
Are there Pebbles in the South?
Yeah.
I feel like we
Charlottesville.
should use the South a little more, no? Because they have a very strong anti-China sort of. Yeah. But
Hey,
never
Democrat,
mind.
Republican.
What? Whoa. I'm not gonna. What do you think? What do you think I
I know
am?
what I think I know what you are. Yeah.
You can guess, and I
Yeah.
won't confirm or deny.
All right. You're a Democrat.
Very
But
interesting.
I'm not sure if you're like a socialist. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of the
I
things
think about
make
the
sense.
thing about you is that you're very good at analyzing both sides, right? And coming
Yeah.
to a conclusion that way. But you lean definitely a little left. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to analyze you, yeah.
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 Did you not see my I think it was November 4 of 2020 Facebook post where I posted an edit of Joe Biden to the what's it called? Background music of BTS.
Oh.
And it was like all effects. And he was eating ice cream and he was driving his car.
You made an edit?
I didn't make an edit. I just found that on
And
online.
you just posted it?
And I just was like, this is a good day. Let me just post this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, I don't know if it's surprising. I am a Democrat.
Quickly, what do you want to do in the future?
In the future, I want to graduate, and then I want to,
Move to DC?
I don't know about moving to DC. Maybe I might have to. I want to find a job, either in an NGO, human rights NGO, maybe State Department. I don't know about Foreign Service Officer. I don't know about that. I wanted to be that, but not anymore. Yeah, I know the starting point and then the end point. I don't know. I know I'm gonna graduate and then somewhere along the line and then SIKYONG and then retire and then I don't know.
Don't retire,
I don't know what happens in the middle
You
though.
can't retire. Look at
Well, eventually I have to retire.
You
like
can't retire.
Yeah.
You
I'm gonna
you
keep running
grind.
over and over and over again.
You have to. We talked about this. You can't retire, man.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
to,
I'll scrub that part.
Scrub the retirement part.
So then, I'm born. I graduate. SIKYONG die. That's my lifeline.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no exact plan. I mean, I should. I graduate in like 5
But
months.
something that helps people in the active service, right?
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to our audience? Tibetan youth, right? A lot of them are in the West, 18 to 35-year-olds.
I think you don't need as much as it is beneficial to join Tibetan organizations if you want to learn more about like what you can do for the Tibetan cause, or if you want, you can make your own, like Bodja. No, we don't talk about. You can, you don't exactly have to join an org or make your own org or whatever. Yeah. You can do the smallest things of like, here, we have, I don't know if it's universal in North America, but we have volunteers in our Pöglupta. I think you mentioned you were a volunteer or something. Yeah, you can just volunteer in your Pöglupta 9 to 1 on Saturday, 4-hour commitment a week, and you just get to engage with the students and then also help teaching Tibetan. That's actually the first thing I did. I graduated Pöglupta, and then like 2 years later, I started volunteering. And then that's what got my foot in the door of joining Shabto, and then going to school, tasa, being in chaperone, all that kind of stuff. So I think you don't really need to have this grand, like, oh, I want to do this for Tibet, and we need to protest, get arrested, my name on the news. You can just volunteer at a Tibetan school and just, teach kids kakakanga for 30 minutes or an hour. And that helps them, and you feel like you're doing something for your community too. Yeah.
That's great. Choesang, thank you so much.
I feel like this is the weirdest, no, not weirdest. This is the most comfortable interview.
We're about to wrap up, sorry.
This is the most comfortable interview I've done ever.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
You didn't get, was it too comfy that you got bored? Or?
No. It was the most engaging. Oh, I don't want to. It was one of the most engaging.
This diplomatic answer.
Yeah, it was one of the most engaging. Yeah. I felt very non-pressured. Sometimes when I do like interviews with like RFA or VOA, they have that big clear table.
And you're like this. You do this.
Larela. I'm like, yes. Taktare. I'm like, I have to say it. But this, I'm in my sweatpants. I've never done an interview in sweatpants. No. Yeah. Well, the Pujun one maybe. But I've never done just like this, like casual. Yeah. And I appreciate that because I think this is much more personal.
And I'm glad that I was going to first like pitch this to you like the first night, right? But I'm glad that we did it on the last day after we got along, right? And got
along.
Or we got
antagonists
closer.
before this.
We were antagonistic, right? But then, like I mentioned to you, like honestly, right? There was like a sense of envy, like, oh man, this guy's like doing so good. Like I want to be like that, right? There's a little bit of envy and inspiration, but now it's like all inspiration, right?
I don't know why anyone would envy me. Honestly, you don't need to.
Listen,
I think your Tibetan is much better than mine.
No.
You were doing live translations at the youth forum in India or Dharamsala. Yeah. I don't think I could do that. Listening to the speakers talk and then be like, you were feeling it too. You were like, they're saying this and this and this. I was looking at you. I was like, damn, this kid has better Tibetan than me, and he's younger than me too. It's like I need to step my game up.
Yeah.
So
appreciate it.
Yeah.
After this weekend, I can confidently say that we'll be really good friends for the rest of our life.
I'm not kidding, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
If there was 1,000 Choesangs, right, in the Tibetan community, we'd be a lot closer to a better situation in Tibet. 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.